Hello YouTube, I'm BigAl1982. This is the Movie Reviewers 100, the collaboration channel here on YouTube that brings you themes each week. This week's theme is a legendary actor for me, and that is Michael J. Fox, a really top actor who's gone through the 80s, the 90s, the years 2000 up to today. Obviously with his Parkinson's disease he hasn't made as many films as he would most really like to have done, but for me, every time I've seen a film of his, I've always enjoyed his performance on screen, and he always gives 110% in that performance. The films I like to talk to you today about are ones that always stay special place in my heart for these. I grew up watching these films, and I can watch them today and I'll never feel that they're dated at all, and that is the Back to the Future trilogy. Obviously a lot of people necessarily like the third one, but the first and the second one always talked highly of. I know the resurgence of Back to the Future with the Hill Valley secret screenings over the recent year or so. But yeah, for me, just amazing films, science fiction at its best, great storytelling, great characters with Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd as Marty McFly and Doc Brown. Just two characters you're rooting for all the time, through all their ups and downs, through all the storylines. You've got great villains in with Biff, through the generations of his the family and whatnot. But it's just a really top trilogy that I just love and watching all the time. I'm really grateful to own this special edition set, which is very hard to come across now. You're talking 200 plus on eBay at the moment, very out of print. It's just an amazing set. I'm lucky enough to own this small remote control car of the DeLorean, the time travelling machine they use throughout the films. If you've never seen, knocks them over there. If you've never seen the Back to the Future films, a quick synopsis of what it is. You've got Marty McFly, who's a student at a school, and basically he's come from a bit of a family that are not the best. They've always never stood up for themselves and always been a bit of a pushover, and he wants to be. He hates people pushing people over, and he sort of has that little bit of a. He has the oomph in the family to stand up to people, and he hates being called chicken. He's friends with Doc Brown, who's a mad scientist, as you may say, and basically Doc Brown comes up with a time machine, which is the DeLorean, and they happen to have this incident happen, and Marty McFly goes back into the past in 1955, and he meets his family, his mum and dad, and there's all capers that go on in that first film. Where they're supposed to have this certain meeting point, but he disturbs the time pattern and he has to correct that. And it's all the time travelling theories of how you'd if you change something in the past, how it would affect the future, and ripples through time. And it's always a film. It has its flaws. Whenever you do a time travel film, there's always going to be flaws to it. You can say, well, this happened, if this happened, this wouldn't happen in the future, and this wouldn't happen if they went back, and then that would have changed, and you could argue it. But top films that you could just fall into the characters and the story, and they're just lovable films for me. If you've never seen these films, go out and buy them now. You will not be disappointed. The second one continues on from the first one, and then basically there's alterations in the future, which has to be changed in the past, and it's all jumping across time. There's lots of problems with Marty McFly's children in the first one and the second one, and then they have to go back into the first film, and it's good how the first film and the second film overlap each other, and you see certain things, and basically if you see yourself in a different time period, then basically that can affect a ripple through time and destroy mankind or the planet Earth or something like that. But I can't remember how Doc Brown actually puts it. But as I say, the third one is an incident happens at the end of the second one, and basically they go into the Western times, which is arguably the weaker film of it. But the whole trilogy carries on, and I enjoy parts of the third one. The woman character, I can never remember her name, always annoyed me as a kid, and necessarily always annoys me now. But I always get through and still love watching these films. So I'm rambling on, and top trilogy. This is Michael J. Fox week. A lot of great films he's done in the past. A lot of fun films in the 80s, were like Teen Wolf, through to the 90s where he made The Frighteners, and also great films in between. Done lots of TV work as well and voice work. Sadly, with his Parkinson's disease, he hasn't made as many films as he would like to have done, and what we would have liked to have seen. But for me, a legendary actor and always gives great performances, 110% in each film, and a top actor. So, rambling over, thanks for watching this review. All the best to you. Have a great weekend. I've been Big A 1982, and check out everyone else's reviews this week. Goodbye.